Quick Trip Run. Hey, how you doing? One of the many night rituals is a Quick Trip. Convenience stores, but around here is Quick Trip. They're pretty consistent and they have clean bathrooms. Sort of usual. Nobody has clean bathrooms anymore. That's a thing of the past, I guess. But they have cleaner than most. They at least have bathrooms that are stocked with toilet paper and are serviceable. Lately, that's something that's become very important to me. But they also have consistent items of snacks and whatever that we need, and so we make our Quick Trip run a couple of times a night usually. Our live shot happens to be where I was 22 years ago on this day. A couple hours from now is when I figured it's 10 a.m. is about when I started waking up to what was going on. But we're here in the West Bottoms. I was living that way, and it was a summer day that day. It's very warm, actually, in the 80s, I think. And now it's a little different. It's starting to rain. I guess it's in the upper 60s. We're doing live shots here about a record company that's putting out their records on cassettes. And there's a debate. So you can turn on the light here and not blind everybody. There's a debate now because my reporter Daniela said this boombox is 50 years old. I said no, maybe 40, 30 something. Built in the 80s, looks like. Not 50 years old. Yeah, boomboxes from the 70s, from like 1973, looked a whole lot different than that. I don't even know if they had boomboxes in 73. I think they did, but they were a lot different. Let's see if we can do this without getting smooshed. It's, rush hour traffic. But, yeah, just about every year I return to where I lose my kidneys. Return to this spot. Not this spot in particular. I didn't walk around here. That's an interesting building. All these buildings are very historic and interesting. There's one in here. It's still a hardware and supply. There's one here. I think maybe it's this one. It's actually the old Studebaker building. We all love Studebaker. Wish they still made Studebakers. I can't tell. But yeah, when we come up on this street here, we cross under the bridge, which is much safer than trying to cross over there. Yes, I've had digestive issues this morning. I don't know if this helps. I think drinking coconut milk doesn't help. But yeah, I even missed one of my live hits, a tease, which is not good. I was in the bathroom, indisposed. Fortunately, there was a bathroom close by. Can't always count on that. Anyway, let's stop talking about that. I think I can turn in here. This wasn't here when I was here. There were railroad tracks here. And I chuckle a little because those railroad tracks, there was a gate here. And I tell you, that thing, yeah, the railroad tracks are over there. I tell you, that thing would stay dinging all night long. The mechanism would malfunction. There's a deuce and a half over here with a peace sign on it. Yeah, peace. Peace and love. But, yeah, this Langdon Supply building this room right over here, which, it's over here on the left side. That was my loft. And that's where I was staying when I heard about the planes crashing into the buildings, and that was truly a horrible day. I mean, there are things that, nobody should have to remember, and there are things that the way that some people perished in that day. It truly was a war, and some people's apocalyptic visions. I am not fond of that, and yeah, there are a lot of people out there who unfortunately have some terrible visions of the world and the way the world should be, and then it's a shame that innocent people would pay for that with their lives. I don't like going near this building here. When I lived here, that building was occupied and vibrant and everything. This is new. Forge, whatever that is. Now look at all the painting and stuff on the side of this building. Yeah, I can see that there are people who are still, because that upstairs has no air conditioning, and they're taking advantage of the nice weather. All the windows are open. Yeah. Make sure you look in crossing these tracks. I wish that coffee sign really meant coffee. I think it did at one time, but I never was able to enjoy any there. Where am I going? I'm avoiding the old Weld building. That's a Weld Tire and Wheel, because it's become a camp for vagrants, and I think I can do this. I don't know. Can't remember anymore. And they like to kick the glass out, and they like to try and time it so that if somebody's walking or driving, I can't imagine wanting to hurt another person in that way. And there are some people who do it for sport, and that's why I think their lives are crappy. I was going to use another word, but crappy fits. Here it is. Everything has kind of changed. I was in this building here. I was looking for rims for my Subaru Loyale, which, kind of hard to find. And this was a tire shop, tire repair and everything. And, I guess I can go. And so on the off chance that they had them, they didn't. But in the meantime, there was something going on. I heard Peter Jennings on the radio, and I don't know if you don't remember who Peter Jennings was. He's a longtime ABC News anchor, and he had a very calming, distinctive voice, and he was on the radio. And I was like, that's weird. What is Peter Jennings doing on the radio? And I asked them, and they were like, something about, I don't know, some World Trade Center, a bomb has gone off or something. They really weren't paying attention either. So I kind of went around I was doing a walk. I was walking for health and exercise. And the more I started thinking about it, the more it kept nagging and bothering me. So I truncated my walk. I finished it really fast. It was a very warm summer morning, actually, I think at least in the upper 80s. And I got back into my loft, and all I had was a little small TV, and I tuned it into the antenna. Haha, way back when. And it showed the New York City skyline with smoke coming up. And I was looking at it, I was like, I've been there, but something's missing. Aw, crap. Because I recognized it was the World Trade Center. And I was like, holy crap. And then they started watching the replays of the planes hitting the buildings. And by the time I got there, both buildings had fallen. And then they were talking about the Pentagon, and there's still more planes flying around possibly, and everybody was running around like heads with their chickens cut off, and oh, yeah, they tore down whatever this was and built this. It looks like that's going to be mini storage. Just what we need. And so yeah, that's how my day started, and then my mind started going crazy. Could they be using chemical warfare? Are they that sophisticated? Or are there still more planes flying around? And fortunately, by the time I was watching all that stuff, all of the destruction was over as far as planes hitting buildings and stuff. I mean, there was still all sorts of stuff going on, people dying, and it was just horrific. And it's burned into my brain. I'll never forget. Burned into my emotions, my spirit, everything. I'll never forget it, and I don't think anybody should. So, yeah. Wish we could forget it, but we should never forget. I'm close by and have some time, so let's have some tea.
Yes. Go on to that one would be more better.
Tea.
But I'm patient.
It's hot.